Welcome back. I'm playing Ash of God, and we will move on. Last time we were able to kill one of those beasts. He injured pretty much everybody in my party, and so I had to use some tricks to get him healed up. We got a new character here, so we'll move out and see what we can do. Your next goal is the Triple Menhir. Judging by what Reed said, you hope it will cure the redhead. She's losing her battle with the Reaper's Cursed.
No potion can heal this curse, because its root is in another's hands.
Alright. Odalon Pass. Operali. You feel the reaping grow stronger. Its shadow falls upon you. The curse of the crippling that has crippled your arm is reaching for your heart. If you give up and feed some of your power to the enchantment, you can prevent the reaping from growing stronger. If you resist and conserve your strength, the dark magic will tighten its grip on the world. If you give up and feed some of your power to the enchantment, you can prevent the reaping from growing stronger. If you resist and conserve your strength, the dark magic will tighten its grip on the world. Well, I'm gonna resist the curse. The power for the reaping grows when you resist the curse, making your foes smarter and stronger. If the challenge ever becomes too great, you can change the difficulty in the main menu. Oh shit, I'm already struggling. Well, we're gonna make it harder for ourselves. Resist the curse. The reaping grows stronger. The terminum plunges into chaos. The plague rages, pitting folk against each other, yet you gather the strength to end this once and for all. That is your hope. The reaping too. You camp the night and try to get some sleep, but Aki keeps pestering you. The great warrior begins with the story about Izanan, temple servants who scatter and hide when the Primarch of the temple divine retributes leaves his bedchamber. What scares them isn't the divine retribution, it's the prospect of being summoned into the said bedchamber. Tell Aki the origin of the old religion. Correct Aki's story. Pretend to be asleep. Let's tell him about the old religion. You silence Aki's tale and offer a terribly heretical story in exchange. You tell him that divine retribution occurred on the day of the vernal equinox in the year 1988 by old reckoning, and you could travel back in time. You could encounter the one called the Trice-arrived one. Aki grows pale, aware of the terrible punishment awaiting anyone who so much as mentions the name. However, curiosity gets the best of him and he begs you to continue. You tell him about a traveler who was killed in one of the villages in Turnanum. The villagers tossed the body over a fence, but the next day the man came back. Once more he was tortured into death. His body burnt. The next morning, however, he was standing outside the palisade. The villagers tried to kill him again, but couldn't approach, and then they all lost their minds. Aki mulls over things. So what's the wisdom in this fable? He asks. Or is it not a fable? If it wasn't a man but a god, why did he return over and over again? Why didn't he punish the villagers, and what was the village called? You shrug. I don't know who he was or why he kept coming back, but if he was trying to highlight the vileness of human nature, he succeeded. I personally believe that he was in actuality killed a third time. Do you know why? Because 1,002 years ago the divine retribution started in that very village. Aki goes quiet and asks no more questions. Alright, so we did that one last time, so let's go down this route this time. Already broken and cut, but still a decent road traversing the desolate lands near the spurs of the Milky Mountains. Aki raises his hand and you stop. A giant responds to your inquisitive stare with a grin. There's a ruined tavern nearby, which means my hiding place isn't far off either. Left some stuff there a couple years ago. Had to drop some loot off so I could travel faster. Who knows what we might need in times like this. Here. Wait here, scribe. Oh, are you shitting me? Sweet. You suggest that Aki disappear into... You shrug as Aki disappears into the forest. Everyone has a past, and the giants is not something you want to bother with. Why would he call the ruined tavern the ruins, though? Maybe that's what the eerie hag's clue is all about. Your thoughts are interrupted by Aki. The giant seems flustered. Can you believe it? There are actual bandits in the forest drinking booze, and a captive tied to a tree. There aren't many people, but the meadow is like a herd of pigs mucked it up. Well, I guess they are pigs. They are so hammered they didn't even notice me, and I'm hardly inconspicuous. I decided against getting into a fight without your orders. These vestiges are not the actual ruins. Oh. It's a good reason to start thinking. It'd be great to investigate in the ruins, but what about the bandits? Should you ask I can kill them all, or should you avoid the risk and wait until they're gone? You can also wait and strangle the drowsy bandits at night, one by one, like kittens. All this trouble will only pay off, though, if you actually find something in the ruins. If you can really call a ruined tavern like that. Attack the bandits now, attack the bandits at night, wait until the bandits leave. These vestiges are not actual ruins, let's ride forth. I'm gonna attack the bandits, man. Aki grins like a predator and asks you to wait. Soon everyone disappear in the forest. Thanks to them, you don't run around the forest looking for drunk bandits. As much as you like to, you cannot make the others do all your work. Minutes later, the meadow is swarming with some suspicious armed people. They all stare at you. You sigh, drawing your sword. Alright. Let's level up. So I've got the mental blast. I don't think I've used it yet, have I? Well, let's keep the damage going. Just have to keep spamming this attack. Should have guessed that was probably going to happen. Damn it! Alright, let's try our circular attack. Good. When the battle ends, you look for your companions. Confirming all the bandits have been dealt with, you free the prisoner. Bowing low, he introduces himself as Oscar. Noticing your interest in the ruins, he tells you something strange occurred there at night. Oscar. You ask Oscar for details. After his kidnappers drank themselves to sleep, the tavern was engulfed in a scarlet fog. Oscar swears that it formed a phrase. You will find one on the two. You will find one on the two. You thank Oscar, but decide to explore the ruins on your own. You find nothing suspicious or any traces of magic. Back in the meadow, you discover Oscar has already vanished. Aki tells you that his hiding place has been rummaged. Shrugging, you continue on your own way. Alright, well, let's continue on to the Outlaws Tower. Got 2 skill points. Spend 4 skill points to unlock. Devouring Blow. Deal 28 damage and increase your health or energy. Wow, that's really good. Right? There's no real cost to it, is there? Cooldown. Yeah, no real cost. Increases your attack by 2 when you kill an enemy. That's also good. Is that... man, all these are good. That has the potential to heal me, so I feel like I need that. Outlaws Tower. Already broken and unkept, but still a decent road traversing the desolate lands. You feel the reaping grow stronger, its shadow falls upon you. The curse that has crippling your arm is reaching for your heart. Now resist the curse. You glimpse something white through the dry creepers and layers of the soft moss, an ancient altar touched by the dirt and dampness, and on it an elaborate sigil, a spiral crossed by a vertical line, a signature of one of your comrades who died 700 years ago on the same field where you survived. Aki notices the sign too. I've seen this scrawl mark often, he says, but the temple servants don't know what it means. In some places they even try to chisel them off. Do you know what it is? Tell the truth. You chose to tell Aki the truth. If you don't mind a bit of heresy, here's the story. The temple servants have their reasons for removing these sigils. Beyond the sea, there used to be a land called Kells. A great calamity befell Kells, and many of its inhabitants sought to refuge in Terminum. Among them were 4 friends, Anil, Na, and Kells, the destroyed land's namesakes, and Kor. Aki brightens up. Hold on for a moment, I've heard that name before. Anil? What is he famous for? You nod. Do you remember the Stone Testament? Anil is the author, one of 4, the founder of the Temple of Divine Retribution. Na and Kor became his disciples. Kells didn't even choose preaching. Kel didn't, he chose preaching. He wandered from village to village, healing and conversing and explaining many things. This was his sigil. Many of his sayings made it into the Stone Testament under Anil's name. Curious, isn't it? Aki smiles. I didn't read the Stone Testaments myself, of course, but I'm not so good with letters, but that's where I heard the name. To this day, the prophet is associated with the temple's sanctification. Kel sounds like a decent fellow. What happened to him? You close your eyes. For a moment you can see the crumbling silhouettes of your friends by the Triple Menhir. He died in the Battle of the Drowsy Deep. He was one of the 12 heroes who gave their lives to stop the 5 Reapers from advancing on the Burkanan army. Aki nods and thinks to himself. You carry on in silence. How soon will Thorn realize that the Menhirs do not cure the reap time? You should intercept him at the Double Menhir. James, a man approaches you at a roadside tavern and introduces himself as James. Are you the one that's asking about Thorn Brennan? He asks. I know the captain and I have some information about him. It might be worth some money to you, since you're looking for him. Looking into James' cunning eyes, you wonder if you can trust him. He looks like a crook. Find out if James really knows Thorn. Ask Aki to put scare into the windbag. Use magic to make absolute sure. Pay the lad. Send James away. I feel like... let's put some scare into him. You nod to Aki and pulls the lad aside. The giant returns after talking with James for a few minutes. I don't really know what he wants to tell you, Thorn, he says, but he surely knows him. Knows that Brennan's family and some other details. It's up to you. Pay the lad. You and James agree on a price. He tells you that Captain Brennan isn't as good as everyone thinks. He shirks the law and acts like he's better and smarter than everyone else. He even said things about the gods and royalty that would get most people thrown in jail or put to death. You bid farewell to James, so that's what Thorn's old acquaintances have to say about him. He's been named a baron, and receiving a captain's insignia fueled his arrogance. As for royal powers and gods, you doubt your opinion is any different. You approach the stockade, enclosing a menhir called the Arch. Seems like Thorn's here. Ences paid a place a visit too. Ences. You see blood and sword shards by the gate. One of the masks lies in the dirt. The gate is opened by a stocky, gloomy soldier. He scans your group with suspicion, finally resting his gaze on Aki. The giant warrior dismounts, handing the guard the papers. You do likewise as you approach the guard. Looking intently at everyone's faces. Good day to you, travelers. Vegan. Head watchman of this harbor, I mean. This stockade at your service. I'll gladly see your papers. Do you have them on you? Hand them over here, please. Let's see who you are. Oh. I think I read this one, right? Yeah. 2 more years until your service is done. Did I read this one? Yeah. Oh, that's no help. This probably ain't the first time you've seen Prince Treg's seal. Are you gonna pretend you don't even know who I am? I've got several questions for you, Vegan. Answer me. And it'll be like I was never here. For starters, tell me, do you know Captain Thorn Brennan? True, I must abide by that seal of yours, but there's no excuse for threats. And I have seen much greater ones, as Has my old comrade Thorn. He passed through here with a party, helped us fend off the NCs, he did. True, I must have... did Thorn have a blonde, green-eyed lad with him? Did Thorn lose any men fighting the NCs? Do you know where Thorn is headed? Well, I'm supposed to find the... What would my guy care most about? Trying to find this kid? Or do you know where he was headed? I feel like we all know he's going to the Minears, right? So that's not much. So let's do... Did he have a green-haired lad with him? But we also know that answer already, too. And we also know he lost the guy, but maybe that can he'll be able to provide some insight of what happened to maybe prevent it from happening again.
Hey!
You could say so. One of his veterans was messed up. We buried this Krieger on the hill outside the stockade, not in the local cemetery. The villagers are pious. They don't need something like that near their homes. What do you mean messed up? You're not making any damn sense. What was wrong with Krieger? Will you tell me or not? If I knew magic like the back of my head, I would. As it stands, I don't know shit. If you're so damn curious, have a look for yourself. Maybe the gods cursed him, or some sorcerer corrupted him. Did Thorn have a blonde-haired lad with him? Aye, I saw someone like that. Looked a lot like Prince Ho, mind you. I've not seen him in a long while, but the two lads have a lot in common, I swear. What's Thorn's party like? Are they all warriors? Who knows? Not like my sore ass rode alongside them. They fight well, the rest remains to be seen. One of his men turned out to be rotten and caused me a lot of trouble, but Thorn, he protects his people. Coughed up a heavy sum for the fool's misdeeds, so everything's been settled. Do you know where Thorn is headed? He asked the way to Ursus, so I gathered that's where he's headed from here. It's either go to Ursus or go home. If memory serves, he wanted to visit the Mynheer there. Whom did he ask? Did he talk to anyone else in the stockade? I'm the only one he knows here. He only spoke to his companions and maybe some merchants too. No, wait, there was someone else, a seer. She called herself Chyla. That's her tent over by the Mynheer. She herself has vanished. Interesting. It may be worth to check the tent. It's not every day you hear stories of vanishing seers. I have no further questions. Grave. Vegan mentioned Thorn's fallen comrade. Also a captain of the guard. Something odd happened to him. You decide to examine Krieger's grave and ask Vegan to accompany you. You'd probably rather join the battle or some other risky undertaking, but he can't decline your request. Reluctantly, he leads you up a hill, and you find yourself in front of a recent burial site topped with a large boulder. The head watchman spits. This is where the boys and I buried him, good distance from the village. Should have burned him, I guess. When this all began, I thought the white-masked abominations with their strange swords were the worst horrors I'd seen. Ever since, I have since changed my mind. Aki shrugs. Why fear corpses? Fear the living. What are all those stakes for? A huge soldering boulder on top. Now we're gonna dig the grave up and drag a corpse out by its toe? As Krieger's corpse comes into view, your companions recoil. Even Aki grows pale. Vegan wipes cold sweat from his brow. You approach the grave and, undeterred by the unsightly remains, that document the sight in your journal. The others look on with fear and respect. Once the sketch is complete, you turn around. No one utters a word. They all look for you for guidance, but they'll need to face their own fears all the same. As a man of letters, a scribe may seem like a madman at times. But without a scribe's curiosity, there wouldn't be any chronicles. You see a beast, I see a victim of terrible sorcery. Fear not, he isn't dangerous. This hideous thing will decompose within a week, leaving no trace. What's that mark on his chest? What could have left it? So that was the scars. Fear not, he isn't dangerous. Shit, what was that? I didn't just fall off a turnip carp. I've heard tales of sorcerers and shapeshifters, but they don't exist, do they? No, they don't. And this is no shapeshifting. The fangs and talons are akin to the marks of the people's necks. This reaping will be the worst one yet, I reckon. Imagine an entire pack of such beasts. This thing will decompose within a week, leaving no trace. That's why it's rotting so fast. I had to collect bodies in the summer heat once, and even they didn't decay this quickly. That's the other side of sorcery. The use of magic can create a beast and imbue it with power, but that power can only be drawn from the victim's own flesh, so it leaves a gaping hole once it's depleted. I don't even want to think who may have done it. What's that mark on his chest? What could have left it? The captain's insignia. What else? Krieger was the commander of young soldiers and the captain of the guard in Albinus. Oh yes, he has captain's insignia. Thorn took it, nearly burned his fingers. That's how hot it was. That's both good and bad news. Bad that a Strix can't protect you from this plague, but good that it doesn't become dangerous like the Menhirs. You may rebury the corpse. No need for stakes. Locals believe them necessary. Now, if it's not too much trouble, I ask your strong man to roll the boulder back onto the grave. I'll manage the stakes. Think what you will, but I have no intention of scaring anyone. Alright, Aki, please help him with the stone. There's no need to trouble the locals with the reaping afoot. Let them believe what they want and fear what they'd like to. It does more good than harm. No trouble at all. Truth be told, I wouldn't mind having a stone like this atop my own grave when time comes, just in case. Tent. Vegan was talking about a certain seer. That could be important. This is where the Overseer rested. She foretold every NC attack, for which I'm grateful. Without her, we might have failed. She spoke to Thorn and then disappeared after we were fighting the NCs. She left some of her possessions behind. Her tent is still here. Were her hands black by any chance? No. I saw no signs of illness. She was wearing a dress with long sleeves cuffed at the wrist and the stone bracelets on each arm, but her hands looked clean. She made predictions, you say. What did it look like? How did she prophesy? Did she rant or chant? Is there a difference? No, she didn't do any of that. It seemed more like she was raving, only she guessed right every single time. Stood over here, she did, squinted at the sun, then turned and spoke. Be ready, Vegan, she said. 12.5 beginners skirting the edge of the forest, and every time things happened exactly like she said they would. Did she do sorcery, mix potions, perhaps? No, she brought a salve to help the people's neck aches, but she claimed it came from the Ursus temple. It's already running out. What struck me was that she kept clutching under her breath. She kept cuckling under her breath? I don't know what that means. Oh, chuckling under her breath. Had a fearsome look in her eyes, too. She also touched the Menhir, but warned us not to. And that warning wasn't groundless, I tell you. What did she say to Thorn? Can you recall anything? Should I have listened in on their conversation? That's beneath me. But it seems that Sheila had been waiting just for him or his daughter. She spoke with her too, quick as a whip, Thorn's daughter. Listen, I also recall them mentioning Unda, a healer lady from Ursus. You don't seem to enjoy talking about Sheila. Lowering his voice, she's no old crone, Hopper. Half the village is old women, and I know all about them. Sheila doesn't walk, talk, or even smell like one. The way she moves, it'd be the envy of any young lass. That is why I do not think she's human. Well, Vegan, what if I'm not human either? My back doesn't ache, and I don't reek of old age. I used to stand at the gate with the trollman. I could see through any rigged cart, you know. But Sheila... It was like looking through a fogged glass. I couldn't see a thing. She read my thoughts through the whole conversation, simple as they may be, and then she vanished. Here one moment, gone the next. The gate was closed the whole time. I need to go. If you see Sheila, tell her Blaze is looking for her. Lance. Hold on a moment, friend. There's something else I need to tell you, but I can't quite remember what it is. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Is it about the double Menhir? Wait, have you ever heard the expression, one on the two? The two? It's a nickname we gave the Menhir. When people say, we'll meet you at the two, they mean the two Menhirs. Funny in that way, given how you can walk the whole stockade from end to end in 5 minutes. What could one of the two refer to? A sign, a ribbon, a mark? Hang on, Sheila. Always to... Hold on. Sheila, always to perplex. As soon as you say Blance, I remembered. She didn't just touch the Menhir, she etched something onto the surface. She told me to mention it to Blance whenever he stopped by. Will you go and have a look? Could be some kind of curse, mind you. Best be careful. Too late to steer clear of curses. I need to think it over. Oh boy. Stranger left a message for you on the Menhir. Vegan hobbles to the Menhir. I asked her, what's the use in writing something nobody can see? She said Unda knows what she's doing, even when she's scribbling on the dungeon walls. Whoever it is meant for will read it, even if they don't, these inscriptions vanish in a couple of days. Could it be that Unda and the healer lady is from Ursus? You brush Vegan off and make a mental note of Unda's dungeon wall scribblings and examine the sacred stone. There's an inscription indeed, but it's hazy. Same as the one in the Outlaws Tower you recall so vividly. The inscription isn't easy to read. You'll have to undo someone else's magic. What will you get out of it? The beginning of the spell that'll save you, or another blackened hand? Read the inscription. You unweave the spell obscuring the inscription. Before they fade, the ruins of the stone shine brightly and clearly, etching themselves onto your memory. Take into yourself that which you can take, for there's no one else to take it. Gain the skill point. Nice. Gate, it's time to continue your journey. You're about to leave the stockade. Vegan approaches you. I'm no rebel, but I speak my mind. You're chasing Thorn, but he's broken no laws and committed no acts worthy of reproach. That is what I believe. You smile. These days everyone has warnings for me, but every other warning is a threat. I'd best get used to it. Let me bid you farewell, Vegan. I tarried here more than I intended. Vegan, however, takes the reins of your horse, a clear signal that the conversation isn't over. With a sigh, you dismount. Hold a moment. I have to tell you something. Old age hits you hardest, not in the back of the knees, but in memory. But I remember it, damn it. What do you remember, Vegan? Spit it out. It's bad luck to muddy farewells with talk. Who cares about bad luck when the reaping's upon us, no matter how you spin it? It can't get any worse. Just remembered something. Something Sheila said at the moment she arrived. I'd forgotten all about it in the turmoil, but now it struck me like lightning. She may have been raving, but this is what she said. The wise will take to heart what the foolish won't hear, but there are holes and holes. One bites and the other brags and moralizes. Talk to those eager to talk. Sometimes the tongue knows more than the head. What is it supposed to mean? I don't know yet, Vegan, but I'll think about it. Good luck to you now. Don't be too quick to judge your friends, old or new. The day for that has yet to come. Hey, I get another skill point. You leave the stockade, you manage to conceal the shock of seeing Krieger in his grave, and yet you remained unsettled. You've witnessed worse during the previous reapings and times of turmoil, but now you feel the prickling of genuine fear. 1,000 years ago, the last reaping bore the same fruit elsewhere. Those ousted from the land ended up in Terminum. Talon's fangs, self-inflicted genocide, all omens of a dying world. What could it mean now? The end of Terminum is nigh. Or could it be that the awakening of the same one who set your world ablaze? Could the magic of tolling bells be protecting Burkana from the same horrible fate? You look at your blackened hand and find no answer. Your heart, beating heavily in your chest, fills with a sense of inevitability.
Hope is like the sun. It turns red and goes out. Should we wait for a new dawn?
Click to continue. Arg. Mushroom's Track. The Old Mill, Shepherd's Path. The Bread Market. Old Mill. New Mill. Woodland Watch, a small stockade manned by wardens of the False Forest. Bread Market, across buy fresh produce and the best bread. So that might allow me to so I'm probably gonna run out of food. Or not food. Strix. Hode. It seems everyone knows that Hode is no simple warrior, however nobody treats him with special reverence or servility. What are we going to do, Your Highness? Hode. I already read that. Oh, stop with Your Highness, I'm Hode. As for what you do, that's your decision. You're the eldest in the squad, not me. Why did you choose Albinus? Shrugging, my father made the choice. Do you think a crown prince's only son just leaves the palace whenever he pleases? Albinus is a quiet place close to Jurana, and there's hope that nobody finds out. My father made the... they could have recognized you elsewhere? Sop and I traveled through Oda, got recognized 5 times or so, wriggled our way out somehow. I traveled around all of Burkana with my father, Radona, Perta, Izana, Odala. We even reached the Great Abyss. What can you seek in the Great Abyss? It stretches across the distant side of the Milky Mountains. Nothing but smoke and poison there. Call it what it is, an abyss. You haven't been reading the old manuscripts thoroughly, Thorn. This abyss appeared during the last reaping. It's a wonder that our world hasn't completely been torn apart, so we'll see. Many dynasties have been snuffed out during the reaping. The old burgomaster know about you? He had a cage of Ursus messenger pigeons in the town hall. I didn't know him, but my father mentioned him once. You joined the regiment for a reason too. How does this concern me? Son of a whore. I spent 3 years in Albinus. You didn't think about leaving your parents' parentage behind 3 years ago, did you? Were you just lazing around in the palace of Girona?
Huh?
Yeah, in the country yard of the barracks and sticks and sandbags. A prince's lot may be better than that of a waterman's son, but it's not easy. Was it a chance that led you to become some patron of a regiment, you think? I've been employed by the regiment for 3 years. The Royal Treasury just started paying me my service a year ago. Oh, blessed gods, are you my benefactor? Son of a demon. It seems like everything comes at a price. How does it feel to be the only heir? It's better to be a soldier of Albinus Regiment.
Hey.
I wish you'd stay to shoulder until they throw you on someone else's blade. Wish you'd stayed a soldier. Unfortunately, princes don't rule with autonomy. That's even worse for kings. It's like spending your whole life in shackles. And golden shackles, Hode. Gold is heavier than iron, Thorn. Gold is heavy. Alright, sorry to bother you. I'm sorry for bothering you. You have a daughter to save, a precious jewel. You better not tell her that. She won't care that you're a prince. Comparing her to a fine blade is another matter. That's alright. A precious blade. That's right, a precious blade. Sop. Sop can't leave his dark thoughts behind. It would be better to rile him up. Why so sad, Sop? Have you lost your commander's scepter? With irritation. I think I read his, right? Yeah. Are you here to cheer me up or make me take the watch? The watch is already posted. You're not a woman to be comforted, Sop. How old are you exactly? Who are your parents? Alright, chin up. Things will work out. How old are you exactly? Not 18, I confess. Add 5 more. You're on the money. Hode, on the other hand, was honest about his age. I'm telling you, he'll be a great warrior at my age. Well, if nothing bad happens. Poisoning yourself is stupid, Sop. I hope the gods will protect us from new misfortunes. Do you know what will cause the greatest misfortune if we don't keep Hode safe? Treg, Hode's father, the crown prince. I can't even imagine what he's going to do to us. Everyone keeps saying the old king is cruel. Just wait. They will remember him kindly. The king of Jaranan is old. So you say the next ruler will be a cruel, heavy-handed slaughterman? Why did Treg let his son go to Elbanus? They're cut from the same cloth. They both have your guts for garters. Maybe that's how it should be with the throne. I can't think of many fellows more wise, dependable, and determined than Threg. Trust me on that, Thorn. I traveled all over Burkana and saw all the kings. Who are your parents, Sop? My parents are common folk. My father is a man of duty. Watched over the main tower of Jurna 5 years ago. He was proud of me. My mother's a fair trader. Her father sailed on the trade ship caravans from Baldar to Raydana. Not everyone can protect their children. You have a great family, Sop. Pride in your parents is misguided, Captain. If I were born a bastard, it would change nothing. Take Hode, for example. You can sense the royal blood, but he is an ordinary lad. Diamonds are more precious than gold. Even before they are cut, they're indistinguishable from other stones found near the mouth of the river, but they're extraordinary. Sure, that's why his guards bear such responsibility. I kind of want to say this, but it seems like an insult, and I don't need my guys to be even more pissed at me. Let's see what happens. That's for sure. The second master of the personal royal bodyguards of Jurana. I'm nicknamed the Deadly Battle Sack for my leanness and litheness, or lack thereof. Funny, huh?
Hey.
Not really. Yes, laughing my head off. At least you can understand me. Jokes aside, I was selected from the best 200 warriors of Jurana to guard the prince. The Prince Treg himself was choosing a defense man. Well, there were about 5 other lads, but Hode decided to keep me. Why did Hode like you? With a sigh, he said he didn't need a sycophant. Shaking with desire to please, he needed a helper, a fellow to ask for advice or to play tricks on. I'm a street kid. I guess the prince found my skills most useful. Alright, keep your chin up. Things will work out. Keep my chin up. I just hope I keep my head on my shoulders. That's how it goes. Treg isn't yet the king, to be sure, but he's already grabbed hold of something. There's fear, but there's also something else. He looked in my eyes like you do now. He said, "Don't let me down, Sop." Well, don't let him down then, Sop. Not everything depends on us, Sop. I'm trying, Thorn. I also put my hope in you and your daughter. I think Hode likes her, even though he keeps his distance. Maybe all this will keep the prince safe somehow, don't you think? I don't know, Sop. There's nothing worse than guarding a nobleman. No armor can save you from the well-fired arrow. No valor can save you from a rival army. There are worse things, Thorn. Dragging your daughter along. Haven't you noticed your companions all trying to protect her during the battles? There's your diamond. And it's already been cut. I don't think I have any levels, right? Yeah. Arg. So I'm for sure going to run out of Strix. So maybe I got to go to the bread market and hope that I can buy more. That's what I'm going to do. Sid, you come across a merchant's cart with a broken wheel. Several guards are busy repairing it. The car is brimming with pots, and the kind used to transport oil. The merchant introduced himself and gestures. Alright, well, let's buy the Strixes, I guess. Boy. I feel like I should buy it, but I need the Strixes. Getting that extra attack could be really good, and it's like lighted up. Wait, no, that's just telling me it's selected. What a dumbass. Offer to help. Assist in guarding the merchant. Well, let's make them run to us, I guess. not want to do that. Shit. Of course he's got his counterattack. What was I thinking? Oh, that's not what I thought it was. put him up there. Who's more likely to get attacked, I guess, is the question.
Oh, Yad, Gaziri.
Looks like he wants to fight you. So let's do that. Good. Looks like he's going for it. Excellent. Whips everybody in a line. We'll get those nice levels. The merchant thanks you for saving his life, but wishes to part ways. He's confident that there won't be a second party of Ensis. You accept pay and ride forth. A roadside inn comes into view. The music and cooking smell emanates from within. This place seems overcrowded, but you stop. Your company desperately needs a rest. Bard. Some wandering bard strums a lute aside. He sings monotonously about a hero's wanderings. While your companions find seats, you notice the lyrics describe events much like your own adventures. Take a short rest in the inn. Camp outdoors for the night. Have some food at the inn. Stay inside for the inn. Give your companions a real treat. Sure. I need to raise their morale, so... You listen until the bard finishes the ballad, then you demand the best food, drinks, and accommodations, and pay on the spot. Your innkeeper responds with a broad smile and runs off to fulfill your orders. You decide to have a good rest now because it'll be your last for a while. You finish the dinner, and before you can rise from the table, an inebriated fat man lashes out at the bard. He claims that the bard has butchered and distorted the famous saga about a banner. The other guests try to reason with the drunk. If the song is good, they say it's worth listening to. Suddenly, the inebriate pulls a dagger. Leave the inn, stun the drunken brawler. Damn it, I'm gonna get injured, and whatever. You approach the drunken brawler from behind and hit him in the head with a stool. He falls like a tree. You make sure that he's still alive and return to your seat. The regulars watch you in awe, and the servants tie the unconscious man with a rope and drag him away. The innkeeper offers free accommodation and drinks as a thanks for preventing bloodshed. It'd be stupid to turn down such a generous offer, so you agree to get a refund for what you've already paid. It's a dream come true. Nice. The bard is very grateful and thanks for saving his life. He plays a lute for you all evening. The innkeeper generously treats you to food and drink, and the regulars toast your brave deeds. After a good night's sleep, you continue on with your journey. A small feast has done much to lift your company's spirits. Average. Barely track. I feel like I gotta just run through with this guy. Squad management. Deck. Get rid of that because I never use it. Energy surge increases energy by 10, which would be good for my healer. Drain reduces energy to a random and health by 20. Increases health. I mean, that's really good. Let's get rid of that. And instead, let's get energy surge, and that'll help keep our healing going. Let's get your range up. Let's get your health up. Fisk, you bastard. Costing me money. Inspiration requires 6 health. Increases energy of a party member by 5, increases your attack by 1. So that's a damage. Healing requires 8 energy. Alright, let's get your healing going. I think that's everybody. Looks like it. Well, let's go to Ursus. So I feel like when I'm playing with this guy, I need to rush through. When I have the other crowds, I can be more leisurely. You can rest and plan your next steps here. Okay, so that's just if I hadn't already done that. Gate, you need to get into the city first. Finally, the northern Juranan fortress comes into view from behind the trees. Ursus used to be a small settlement above the salt mines, but has grown because of the Menhir. The palace walls and towers cover the entire hill. Is the cure to the wretched plague within? Your daughter distracts you from your thoughts, Dad. Why do you look at the city as if it's new to you? You look to the city as you answer her. I'm trying to read the flags on the steeples. They tell you which rules are in effect and what's been going on in the kingdom. A Burkanan flag, for example, would be a sign of a large-scale war. Hode butts in. The flags are the first thing I saw. From what I can tell, I'd do well to remain Hode for now on. My grandfather's in town. Then we've had a disagreement, to put it mildly. Glenda rolls her eyes. So what? It's not bad to be Hode, especially if you survive all this. On the other hand, Prince Hode would never have faced such perils. You turn to Hode. Adventure and peril are tempting until you face them in real life. It's one thing to listen to stories in a tavern, but living through a tale of wounds and blood is entirely different. The smart thing to do now would be to find a safe hideout and lie low. Hode chuckles, and this coming from a man whose scars across his body has more scars in his body than I've ever had drunken revels. You interrupt the soldier. Enough talk. Hold your tongue. While you're at the gate, I will speak with the guards. And Hode tried to be unassuming as possible. The commander of the guard approaches you, requests to see your papers. He leafs through them, eyeing your party suspiciously, Hode especially. Checking the papers. Traveling from Albanus, I see your papers are in order. Please see me one by one. By Germanan law, your swords must receive a seal at the gate. You may remove the seal only upon leaving the city. Check. Subject of the Juranan Crown, enlistee of the Juranan army, the commander of the United Ursus Watch, a special authorized delegate of the king, and heir apparent, veteran of the southern and northern campaigns, awarded a ceremonial royal cross and engraved blade with a silver scabbard, member of the city council and the board of overseers, commended for a long and distinguished service. Turning to Hode, you boy, you'd make a fair bit of coin at the court of Juranan king, your spitting image of his grandson. Smiling, I hear that quite often. I'm afraid I must decline. It would be unwise for me to rely solely on a monarch's grace. What if I happen to fall out of favor? I'd rather avoid the courts and throne rooms as much as possible. Squinting, you shouldn't show your face in the palace if you don't expect to find yourself in the king's good graces. I know all your names, travelers, so it's time I introduce myself. Shaq, commander of the guard, at your service. What use are your services beyond the walls of Ursus? Thank you, but we are not looking for any trouble. What use are your services beyond the walls of Ursus? Smirking. City walls can hardly stop the plague. Whether the village or the capital itself, the great disaster cares not. Poor peasant or wealthy noble, it matters not. Or a commander. You'd rather depend on your own mettle if things go awry, am I wrong? Well, your papers seem to be in order. You even have a mark from the stockade by the arch. How is my old pal Vegan holding up? He's having a rough time. Masked warriors are launching attacks on the stockade. Happened twice while we were there. We helped Vegan push him back, and he won't hold out much longer if help isn't sent. Bustling about, so that's how it is. We hadn't even a second to spare for him, damn it. We need to send in reinforcements. Welcome to Ursus, gentlemen. I will not detain you a moment longer. Alright, we'll go back. Small shop. While resting, heals 2 levels of injury per day. Wow, that could be good. Walking speed, plus 10 health. When resting, heals 2 levels of injury per day. So do I put that on somebody? Alright, I'm gonna buy it. Seems like it should be good. I might regret it. We'll call it quits for the day. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encouraging to post more content for you. Thanks again to the subscriber that donated this game to the channel, so we'll see what it's all about. Oh, alright, he's back. There we go. Have a great day. Thanks.